Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Kids on Bikes game, which is now lovingly called... Whoops. Turn that down. I think I did that last time, but luckily I caught it. But, Kids on Bikes game, which is now lovingly referred to as Bikes on Brooms. This is the second session of our Bikes on Brooms game. If you aren't sure what happened in the first session or you need a little bit of a recap, feel free to type !Bob recap. And it will bring you to a Google Doc, and you can read the player's notes there and just kind of figure out what's going on. But today, I, of course, am Emma Panada. You can find me here on Twitch at Emma Panada or on Twitter at Emma Panada, and I do TTRPG stuff sometimes. Graham, who are you?
I'm Graham. You spoiled the secret. I only play on this podcast. I'm a cast exclusive.
Yeah.
Do I need to say anything else? I play Brandon, or maybe not Brandon.
Yeah, as you may notice, and if you were here last time, at the end of the session, our kids/teenagers woke up in unfamiliar bodies in an unfamiliar place. So Nina has kindly provided us with new art for these new characters that they now find themselves in the bodies of. So they don't really know much about these characters. They just got to kind of like pick what they looked like. But Graham, why don't you say what your character is? I see a lot of weird, cool hair and some green skin.
So we've got some ancient Greek inspiration with some Medusa and Gorgon aspects, and this little lass is a very hypnotically patterned snake-haired young lady.
Nice. Love it. All right, next up, let's hop on over to Arabella.
I'm Arabella. I'm playing Magnolia. And then for the new character, like 10-year-old girl, like pale, messy hair. She wears a mask because her face is disfigured.
Love it. Perfect. And next up, let's head on over to Ash.
Hey, I play Justin, and right now I'm a scruffy little cat boy.
Heck yeah. With a little
Living my
torn up
catboy
ear.
dreams.
And last but certainly not least, we have the amazing, the talented, the artist of all of this, Nina Wolverina.
That's me. I am playing Andy, and right now, Andy is in the form of a little unicorn boy, who is mostly human, but very also clearly a unicorn.
Yeah, absolutely, totally. I can get that inspiration immediately.
Is it the single horn
it's
in
the
the
single
middle of their
horn
forehead?
and maybe like the floppy ears.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing I would maybe guess is like a weird mythological rabbit creature that has a horn.
Yeah, like a
Jackalope.
weird
A
jackalope.
A
thing.
jackalope. Is it a jackalope? Okay, cool. Well, yeah, so without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. So, as you fell asleep last time, in the comfort of your own homes and your own beds, except for Brandon, because he was in like a creepy lighthouse, you wake up during the night and you find yourselves sitting up in a place unfamiliar to you. Underneath you is a mattress full of feathers. There's light kind of bursting in through these curtains, giving the room a soft orange glow, while some dust particles are just kind of softly floating in the air through the beams of light. As you sit up, you kind of look around you and you see that there are beds set up in a circle, kind of around the circular room. There are 5 beds in total, and amongst them you see some very strange creatures that you perhaps have never seen before, as well as some other humans. You see a small unicorn boy, a little gorgon girl, a little cat boy, a girl who I imagine doesn't have her mask on right now. So what kind of, you talked about disfigurements. Does she have like is her face burned, or what's all going on?
So it's kind of like, I don't know, so there's like scars that like stretch up through like half of her face, and like one of her eyes is missing, like on
Okay,
the right
got it.
side. And then like it's just like, yeah, lots of scarring that goes across the rest of her face.
Yeah, so you see this girl, and lastly you see a girl with kind of this, sorry, one second. You see a young girl, she looks to be maybe about 11, who's very thin, kind of has like longer, like wavy brown hair, and you're all wearing these kind of like red cloaks, with these like 3 gold buttons down the side as you get up from your beds. But as you kind of look down to get a better view of yourself, you see that things are not quite familiar to you. Maybe perhaps you have green skin and sharp nails, or you have paws and no thumbs, or your hands are kind of covered in this soft white fur. But this is a very strange experience. However, the last girl I described, kind of the wavy brown hair, stretches and looks over towards you, Andy, as if kind of like expecting something, but then when it doesn't come, she's like, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Where are we? Where am I?
She cocks her head, shakes it. You're being stupid. And she stands up out of her bed, and at kind of like the end of each bed, there's like a chest. And she goes and opens the chest and grabs like a toothbrush and some other things, and it's like, okay, I'll be back in a little bit. Did you all still want to go to the to get like food with me tonight?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
She's kind of like looking towards the rest of you as well.
Who are you?
You guys are so weird this morning. We can talk about it. I mean, it's fine if you don't want to. We can talk about it later, though. And she's gonna leave the room. And suddenly, you're left alone with these 3 other people that you're not familiar with. But everybody go ahead and give me a wits roll.
It's not brain.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, brain.
It is brains.
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
We
I
still
just
have
wanted
our
to make
bites.
sure I wasn't missing.
I was playing a different game earlier
Wow.
that used wits.
Hey everyone, I got a 1 on wits because
Okay.
Andy's stupid.
All of you can get an adversity token because I forgot to say what the difficulty was. But Brandon, as you're looking at these 3 others, you see these kind of silhouettes forming behind the bodies. And as you do, you recognize people that you've seen before. You recognize Andy, your ska pal. You see Magnolia, a girl who's a bit outside of your social rank, but someone that altogether is familiar to you. And you see Justin, the little kid who idolizes you.
In the back of Brandon's head, he's thinking, what was in that cigarette Christine gave me last night?
The
Valid.
one kid who did drugs.
Yeah. The one time. But I think he feels closest to Andy, so he's gonna look at whatever shroud of Andy, and I imagine he just has his blankets up by his top of his chest by his clavicles or her clavicles, and just goes, Andy.
What? How do you know my name? Who
Andy,
are you?
you see like this little Gorgon girl just kind of like hissing towards you almost. Her hair, the ends of her hair kind of sticking up and pointing towards you as she turns her body. Brandon, you see this little unicorn boy. Yeah.
Brandon.
Brandon?
Yes.
What? Wait. So, do you know what's going on or? No! Okay, good. Good, I thought like it'd be weirder if you did. Do you know? But you're Brandon.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm Andy. What? You look like a snake person.
You look like a goat that found a horn.
That's so weird. That she like reaches up and like touches where the horn is. She's like, that's so weird.
They looking at me?
What?
Are they looking at me?
No, they kind of seem to be doing their own thing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're kind of like attached to your head. I'm pretty sure they're not.
I
Gonna...
know.
Okay.
I can't control them.
Are you scared of snakes?
I don't know what they're gonna do.
Magnolia and Justin, what are you two doing right now as these two start to like connect, kind of like panicked and unsure of what's going on?
Probably trying and failing to fight the natural urge to swat at some of those snakes on Brandon's head.
Yeah, so do you like get up from your bed and kind of like sneak over there to like look closer and try to hold yourself back from pawing at them?
Yeah, it's just like wide-eyed, going towards it, just reaching ever so slowly.
Okay. Give me a flight check. You need to hit like a 5. 4.
Okay.
We'll say 4.
Did we get adversity from failing in the previous roll or something?
You did, yes.
Okay.
Good.
And you still have all of your adversity from last session too.
Cool. I don't think I had any.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you are definitely able to hold yourself back from clawing at these snakes, but a couple of them definitely like are staring you down.
Brandon will look over and be like, do we do this on a regular basis?
I don't know who you are.
I don't know. Oh, wait, I saw the shroud of him.
Yeah, you saw like
Oh.
Justin.
Hey, Justin, it's me, Brandon. like get out from under his cover and just start acting more confident.
I'm gonna do the cat thing of arch back and back up. What do you mean you're Brandon?
What if you're Justin? Nothing's normal. That's Andy.
Hi.
What's happening? Are you nuts? Am I nuts?
I think
Did I hit my head? I have a concussion, don't I?
Did
I have a
y'all?
concussion.
Did you smoke something last night?
No?
Okay.
Maybe
Magnolia, what
did
are
you
you
smoke
doing?
something last
While this is all going on, I hear stuff going on, but I'm not processing what they're saying whatsoever.
Mhm.
Just don't care about their conversation. I assume that this is a normal occurrence for these people. I'm looking around the room for a mirror. Are there any?
Not in this room.
Okay. I'm gonna run out and try and find a mirror.
Okay. After you kind of come out of this room and there's like a small hallway that obviously seem to be connecting doors to other similarly styled rooms. And as you kind of look around, you eventually find kind of like a bathroom, like communal shower sort of thing, very much like a dorm room. And going inside, you are able to find mirrors. And as you do, you look at yourself and you see a face unfamiliar to you. You see this like dark kind of wavy hair and these scars kind of going up your face and your missing left eye.
I'm just like in the mirror, like touching my face and freaking out.
Yeah. People in the bathroom are like, what the hell? And I think the girl from before kind of like peeks out and she's like, sorry. She's like, Olivia, what are you doing? Just go get your mask.
Mask?
Yeah, by your bed. You normally wear it everywhere.
Okay. Mask. Then I head back to the room to grab that.
Yeah. So, you guys kind of see this girl kind of run out of the room, touching her face, and then you continue to have your conversation, and eventually, she comes back.
So you guys know that's Magnolia.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess nothing's gonna surprise me anymore at this point.
When I woke up, I kind of saw like a version of you guys as your shadows of whatever bodies we're in now.
That's
movie
really
where we go
weird.
into someone else's dreams together?
Yeah, I've thought about that. Like, what if we could dream together and all be in a dream together? Do you think that's what this is?
Pinch him.
Wow.
Who? Pinch who? And she just
Anyone.
turns and pinches you really hard.
Ow!
The snakes hiss and kind of like round towards you, but they aren't long enough to really reach you.
Did you wake up? Are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
maybe
it's
not a
his
dream.
dream?
Andy's gonna turn
He probably
to
didn't hurt
Magnolia,
Brandon, though.
actually.
He's tough.
Aw.
I imagine, Magnolia, once you get back in the room, you head back to where your bed was that you woke up in, and sure enough, sitting next to the bed on like a little dresser, is this white mask that looks very like owl-like, at least to me from the picture. It reminds me of the creepy owl in Owl House, if any of you guys have
Oh
seen
my
that.
god, I need to watch that show.
It's so good. Do recommend.
I gotta stare at the mask. It's ugly, so that's disappointing. It's not even a nice looking mask.
I'm offended.
Oh,
He was like,
Not
"Oh."
that I like worked hard on it or anything, but
Magnolia was hoping for like a nice masquerade Venetian style mask when she heard there was a mask waiting for her. Not some simple thing that it's not gonna really help that she looks ugly right now.
She's too vain for.
Are you
a
gonna
regular
choose to wear the weird, creepy looking mask, or are you
Yeah,
gonna?
it's better than my face. So
Okay,
I think it's a great mask, Nina.
tragic.
it's the mask I told her to draw.
yeah, no, it is. It's
I gave reference pictures. It looks exactly like those.
It is what it's supposed to be.
I'm
It's
happy
so
with it.
funny.
Magnolia's not happy with
Magnolia
it.
is like,
Called role playing.
this
Well,
looks like
Magnolia's a
something
joke.
that someone would make as a role-playing character. That's what Magnolia is thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's better than my face. So
Yeah, so I
put
think
it on.
Magnolia is kind of very like not paying attention to this conversation right now.
Too busy worrying about being ugly.
Fair enough. I gotta open my door so the air conditioning can flow in because I'm dying right now. Hold on just a second.
There we go.
I'm also looking through that chest of stuff and trying to find like a hairbrush or something.
You do find a hairbrush.
Cool, I'm gonna brush my hair out.
Okay.
That's Magnolia?
yeah.
Magnolia! Magnolia!
I turn and
Mags!
look at. Don't call me that.
That
As
is
like-
Magnolia.
Reaction, and then I realize that my name is actually being called here.
Mhm.
You're right.
Who are you supposed to be?
It's me. Don't you recognize me?
Hey, Justin, you look like you're like a cat, dude.
Oh. Oh yeah. It's me, Justin.
The
Brandon.
tutoring stuff?
Yeah. I'm a cat.
It-
Apparently.
Great.
Hey, can I still skateboard? Wait, where's my skateboard? Just gonna go look
Dude.
frantically in the trunk.
You do not find a skateboard in the trunk.
Probably better at skateboarding. Though.
But you do find some other clothes and these little looks like jewelry that you kind of put on your claws. If you've discovered your claws yet.
I have not. I'm sure that'll come up soon.
Andy's gonna get curious seeing you go through the stuff in your trunk, and she's gonna do the same.
You see, you sure? Yeah. So you see some pieces of clothing and stuff, a journal kind of filled with like grass clippings and little like notes about where that grass came from. A lot of the names do not make sense to you. They don't sound familiar at all. But you also see some little like sketches. And they look like just kind of these very weird mishmashes of creatures, or in some cases like creatures that you've never really seen or heard of before. Like what's an example of something? Maybe like a fish with an incredibly long like neck and feet at the front of the neck, but like the flippers and everything like down towards where the body was. Just a lot of really weird creatures.
So guys, like, this isn't gonna sound that weird, I think, considering everything, but I'm pretty sure like we're not in Bliss. Was that what we called it?
That was the name of your town, yes.
We're not like in Bliss. We might not like even, I don't think this is a long shot. We might not even be like on Earth anymore.
We got Freaky Friday and Wizard of Oz at the same time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think happened, right? Like, because like you're like a snake kid girl. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm furry, but I don't know any. And I got a horn, so that's weird. And you're like a cat. And Magnolia looks pretty much the same comparatively.
What? Who the hell are
right.
you two?
I'm
I know
Andy.
Justin.
We don't talk.
Brandon.
You go to my school or
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm friends with Christine and Heath.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
Brandon knows
okay.
everybody.
I know you.
He's
Okay.
like the coolest guy.
Yeah.
Aw. I'm sorry. Every time that Justin talks about Brandon, I'm just like, oh. Yeah, and I know who you are. I used to be friends with Christine too, but we're not friends anymore. But it's not that big of a deal. It was a mutual friend breakup.
Sounds a little bitter, but okay.
Yeah, and whatever. It doesn't really matter right now, does it? Because, like, look at this.
Definitely doesn't matter to me. So
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go. Andy's gonna take a toothbrush out of the like trunk and be like, "I'm gonna go brush my teeth."
Brandon's gonna go look in what's in his chest.
A lot of snakes and mice.
A lot of snakes and mice.
He'll shut it really fast.
Oops.
Um,
I guess
I'm
I'll go through
wearing
the rest
this
of-
today.
I'll go through the rest of my chest.
Okay. As you're looking through your chest, you don't find much. You find some, it's largely like clothes and like toiletries, things that you'd need to like take care of yourself. You find kind of a journal, but it's not really written in at all. It's just kind of completely blank. It looks like school issued. It has this symbol that you also see on the cloak that you're wearing. That's like this kind of crystal shape and then two circles. You also see a kind of like hand mirror, but it's broken.
Okay. I'm gonna take the journal out. Is there like something to write with too in there?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna write down that my name is Olivia.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's what they called me.
That is what they called you. Yes.
Cool.
Justin, what
I
are
guess
you up
I'll go
to?
brush my teeth and get ready too.
Okay, cool. Justin, what are you up to?
Is playing with his toe beans on his hands.
Perfect. Awesome.
The beans until a claw pops out, and he's very surprised.
Yeah. So, Andy, you find your way to the bathrooms and are able to brush your teeth and everything. Same thing for you, Magnolia. You'd been there like once already, so it was not really an issue finding your way back there again. You see that there are a number of other kids here as well, kind of wandering the halls or getting ready, and all of them seem to be like fairly excited. You hear mumblings of what sounds like they get to make some sort of decision today. They get to like pick something. And as you're kind of doing this, you see just all sorts of kids. You see like a bat kid. You see like other humans. You see a kid that kind of looks very fish-like. There's just all sorts of like combinations of people here. And yeah, eventually you do find your way back, and Brandon and Justin, you guys were staying in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so eventually that other girl kind of comes back and looks towards the both of you. Are you both already ready?
Or?
I mean, just the day, I guess.
I'm always ready.
Okay.
Yeah. If Brandon's ready, I'm ready.
Brandon's panicking, and so he's just like, I'm gonna act like Christine.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're ready, like, you can go to the dining hall and get breakfast, and I mean, then, like, we'll get to choose and everything, and we'll be split up.
Have you already gotten breakfast?
No, I just took a shower, and you see, like, her hair is very wet. But she pulls something out of her trunk, and it's like almost kind of like a hair tie, and she puts it around her hair and then pulls the hair tie out, and her hair is dry.
Brandon, what just happened?
Who?
What?
Oh my god.
Do you want to go together? Maybe?
Yeah, when you're done drying your hair, we can all walk over together.
Oh, I mean, it's dry. You two are being weird.
The snakes just woke up kind of weird today. It's a weird vibe, and yeah, he was playing with them, and it's just been kind of off. We just need some food.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, if you two are ready, we can go.
Okay.
Yep.
Dustin's tail is just twitching nervously.
So, you two head off to the dining hall with this girl, and
If we pass the bathroom, can I poke my head in the girls' bathroom?
it's gender neutral bathrooms.
Oh, gender neutral bathrooms?
Mhm.
Okay. Wow. Progressive. Any goats and masks people were getting breakfast, and then I'm gonna go out.
Any goats and masked people.
You hear some other kid, like in a stall, shout, "Shut up!" But yeah, the other two, you guys hear that.
Okay.
And yeah, you head to the dining hall. It's a large room. There are a lot of what look to be kind of older kids already filing in, as well as some younger kids. There are these 4 very long tables that seem to be kind of dividing everybody on the ends, and then there's one central table that's a bit smaller, where a lot of the kids that were coming from your hallway kind of filed to. There's lots of food all over this, some of which is familiar, some of which are not. There are a lot of like fruits and meats that you can't really place what they are. Whereas there are also like strawberries and appy slices and like French toast and like all this other stuff. Then Andy and Magnolia, I imagine you two will catch up. Or was there anything you wanted to do between the two of you because you are in the same bathroom?
Absolutely not.
No. Andy, in fact, went into this bathroom to get away from Magnolia, so she's kind of.
So you are sad to see that Magnolia follows after
Yeah,
you.
she just avoids eye contact very awkwardly.
Yeah, makes sense. So you guys go back out, and you eventually, Brandon and Justin, do you save seats for Magnolia and Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go and meet with the others, and this girl has been trying to like make small talk with the two of you, but seems really off-put about you two being very different. So after a minute, she kind of just like goes quiet and will like eat to herself.
Just a weird day, with the choosing.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
guess
yeah,
we're just both-
we get to choose our house today. It's like really exciting for us first years.
We can
Right?
have
Do you
house.
know which one you're gonna go into?
Oh, what do you think? And he looks at Justin.
I get a house? Like a whole one?
Well, we're getting to like, no, it's like you're kind of, you choose a group to be in, and that like becomes the focus of what you learn here at the school.
Oh. How about we all try to guess each other's houses, and you can go first.
Ooh, okay, yeah. So, what do you think? What house do you think I'm gonna choose?
The one with the smart people.
Both of you give me a a brains roll. Yeah.
Brains.
You want to get a
difficulty?
6 or higher. Jesus Christ, Graham.
Dang! How do you have 17? Oh boy.
Oh wow, you both did really well. So
Yeah.
as you're looking, you see kind of these small banners. Like at the end of all the tables, there's like a stage set up, and you see these kind of small banners set up behind some chairs that are on the stage, and on each banner is an animal that looks familiar. One is a giraffe. One is a platypus. One is an alligator gar.
Oh.
And the last one is a shoebill stork.
Shoebill store. What's an alligator gar?
An
What is
alligator
that?
gar is a creepy ass fish that's got a
Yeah.
mouth like a fucking alligator.
I need to look that up. I've never
Yeah,
fucking heard
they're
that. in my
huge.
Never
life.
seen it?
Yeah,
No,
they're-
I've never heard of an
they're
alligator gar.
huge.
Oh,
They're
wow.
terrifying.
Yeah, I'm thrilled by the fact that that's what we're doing.
What the fuck am I typing? Right now?
I love
Under-
these choices.
Under each one, Brandon, I'm gonna say because you rolled so high, you beat the difficulty by more than 10.
Oh.
Kind of under each depiction of these animals, you see a small symbol. And don't ask me what these symbols look like or I'm gonna slap you. But you're able to decipher kind of the symbols. As you're looking at them, something just feels similar and like you know what they are. The first one for giraffe, you know that symbol means like bestiology. It's the study of various like beasts and creatures. The platypus, it's for
Bestiality.
kind of
I can't spell.
it's
Study of
for
beasts.
learning combat and protective spells. For the alligator gar, it's transmutation, turning one thing into another thing.
I wish I could turn alligator gar into anything else. You
Yeah.
looked it up, I fucking hate it.
It's terrifying, right? And the
wish I could-
shoebill stork is for illusion and divination.
Okay. And the young lady we're with asked us to guess which house she'd go into.
Yes.
And all
because
we've
you
seen-
said she would go first.
I meant her guess us, but yeah, that could have been lost. But all we've seen her do so far is dry her hair.
Yeah. It seemed like she used an item for that.
Okay. Well, that's the only thing Brandon has to go on, so he's gonna say alligator gar.
Oh, good guess. No.
Shoebill.
What do you think? What do you think, Kite? And she looks towards you, Justin.
Kite?
Yep.
He just sits there blankly for a bit because he doesn't understand that name is meant towards him.
She looks directly at you.
Brandon will nudge him.
Shoebill!
No. I was actually thinking of like giraffe
That
house.
makes so much sense.
You know what? I see it. I see the giraffe. I get it.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Kite, I mean, everybody knows what you're gonna go into, so I think we'll just skip you. Let's see. And she looks at you, Brandon. She's like, Haxius, I think maybe, are you gonna pick like Stork House?
Do you mean Shoebill?
Well, the Shoebill Stork. They call it Stork House.
Girl, you got it.
Stokehouse rules!
Yeah, she has like a big smile on her face. Cool. And I think around this time, Andy and Magnolia, you two show up.
What are we doing?
We're guessing the houses that we're going into, and
Oh.
We get a whole house.
we
do you
all
want-
know the four houses are giraffe, platypus, shoebill, and alligator gar.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And
We all know that.
and we remember what that means too, right?
I mean, like, a giraffe is obviously like beasts and shit,
Mhm,
and
yeah.
like a platypus is like, whatcha? Oh.
Yeah.
And the alligator's like, ew, I don't want to be that. I want to be something else.
Mhm, mhm.
And the shoebill's like, you thought.
Graham, you can have an adversity token for that.
Yeah. No,
That was
totally.
amazing.
So we're just talking about that because that's what the that's what the choosing thing is today. Is that
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're choosing like the houses we go into, and that'll kind of like affect like what we learn in the next few years.
that makes sense? For sure. Cool. Andy's gonna sit down next to Brandon.
I'll sit down next to whatever open spot there is.
Max, I saved you a seat.
So what kind of stuff are we learning here? I'm talking to the girl that we're sitting with.
Should learn her name.
I mean, you should. You guys are being really weird.
Andy
Is
leans
this
in.
like? Are you like pulling a prank on me or something?
I'm gonna be really
so-
real with you.
This is like it's like magic stuff here, right?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be weirded out to say if someone magically ended up in a body that did not belong to theirs?
Yeah.
That's so crazy. That would be
So
really
crazy.
weird.
Okay.
This is just a prank. I hit my head and forgot everything, and they're trying to cover for me.
No. I think it's better to be honest about this. I think Magnolia is on the right track here. I swear to God, we are not the kids that you know. We're kids from like a different world and stuff, and we woke up in these bodies. We have no idea what's going on.
Wait,
Justin just
what?
looks to Brandon for a cue.
Yeah, I'm
Make
dead
a
serious.
Just
Make a-
still.
make a fight roll
Okay.
because you're directly confronting this situation. I think you need an 8 to get this girl to believe
Oh
you.
boy.
I
You're good at
believe in
fighting,
you.
right?
I'm
Andy's
okay at
thing.
fighting. Nope.
Oh,
I'm
Oh,
so
You can
close.
spend an adversity token to
You
pass.
I'm going to do that.
Okay. So mark off that you used an adversity token.
I did.
Oh, you're being serious.
Yeah. Super serious.
Maybe don't tell people that.
Should we not? Is it bad that we like?
I
'Cause
mean,
I'm just
like
confused.
all of this stuff is supposed to be secret. I don't know what they would do, but all of this
Okay.
stuff is supposed to be like secret.
Like the stuff about the school.
Like this school and the school and Alga and like Earth and all of that. Yeah, it's supposed to be secret.
Wait, so you know what Earth is?
Yeah, of course I know what Earth
Okay, that's a good
is.
start. Cool. Okay, yeah, we're from there.
Okay, you see this, and she kind of like pulls her cloak and the symbol. She's like, "This is Earth," and she points to one of the circles.
Okay.
This is Alga. She points to the other circle, and then she points to the like triangle. And she's like, "And this is like us kind of maintaining the divide between the two." And that's what we're
Okay.
supposed to do. And so we're in like this kind of weird space in between Alda and Earth right now.
Okay. But you're cool with it. Like you're not upset. So it's okay that I told you, right?
I mean, it's
Not panicking.
I'm not gonna tell anybody. I mean, this is pretty cool, and I didn't always get along with everybody anyway. So I mean, like, yeah, this is fine, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
So you really don't know what's happening.
No, I don't even know your
Oh.
name.
Not a clue.
Oh.
That's generally just life.
I'm
Bra-
I'm Kylie. Kylie Shavers. I'm from Earth,
Okay.
but
Cool.
my
Nice to meet you.
family is magic.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Magic Earth family? The
I'm
hell?
Andy. I don't know what the kid like the body kid. I don't know what his name is.
Oh, that's Sable.
Sable. Okay. Gotta
They're-
remember that.
They're from Alga.
Okay.
I mean, most of you are from Alga.
What did she say her name was?
She said her name was Kylie Shavers.
Kylie Shavers.
Sorry.
And I mean, your kite, which is like kite in the wind, and she points to Justin. She points to Brandon. You're Haxius. And you're Olivia Moeller.
So, could you teach us how to act like these people if we're not supposed to get caught?
Well, you're normally pretty quiet. You don't talk a whole lot. I don't know you super well. I've tried to like talk to you, but like we've been here a couple weeks together, and like Olivia's never like really said more than a few words to me. Even when I like try to have a conversation with her, she ignores me.
Probably gonna be more of that.
I mean, Kite, you're doing. Kite's pretty, like, energetic, but is also really aggressive. You come from a family that's kind of like known for being really good at fighting, and so that's why I said we all knew what like house you were gonna join anyway, because like everybody knows that you're gonna go to Platypus House.
Oh, that must be why I have these.
I
He puts
was-
up a paw and just squeezes the claw out.
I was gonna guess giraffe.
I don't know what house you were gonna go in. You're pretty like cold and kind of like mean. You say things to like cut people down like a lot.
Brandon wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like Brandon, but I'm sure that someone here could give him some pointers.
And Sable, you're Sable's really nice, but you kind of like are very what's the word? You like daydream a lot, and it seems like you're thinking about other stuff all the time, and you're not always really paying attention.
This is a call out for Nina.
Poor Fingal.
Right. That cool. Okay. Sable seems really into like animals and stuff. There's a house that's really into animals?
Giraffe House.
Okay. I want to make sure that I don't screw this kid's life up while I'm in his body. So
Okay, yeah, that would be good. Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
thanks for the help. It's really great of you.
Yeah, so
Wait.
if we wanted to switch bodies, do we need to talk to, like, the chief alligator gar?
If you wanted to switch bodies,
Did we talk to Mr. Gar?
Yeah.
no, I don't know like how to turn you back or anything. Like what happened? And like transmutation stuff is more about like changing what your body looks like or what other things look like. But it wouldn't really like send you back to your old body.
Oh.
How do we do that?
I don't know.
Do you know who would know how to do that?
Maybe. And then you hear kind of like a hush fall over the room and a loud banging as up on the stage it seems like some like faculty members and like old adults have kind of like gone and sat at the chairs up on stage, and behind a podium with like a gavel is an owl person. And Kylie kind of like whispers to all of you, that's Albus Hoover.
Please, Emma.
Albus
my god.
Albus Hoover.
I'm quitting.
He's
Oh my.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. That'll be it. for tonight.
That's it for tonight. I must pass away now.
he's the dean. He's like the principal. And he kind of like puts the gavel down on the podium and like folds his wings back behind his back. He's got like, he stands tall like a humanoid, and has these wings, and at the end they have kind of like 2 fingers and a thumb. And he's wearing like these small glasses behind which are these like big yellow eyes. And he's quickly turning his head around, looking at the room. I just gotta power through this voice.
Oh,
I
no.
believe in you,
Alrighty.
Emma.
And
I
if you
believe in you.
guys-
I cannot wait to hear this.
If you guys
Go,
need a
Emma.
translation of what he says, we can do that. Just ask me afterwards.
Go ahead. I'm
right.
ready.
Silence in the court.
Silence on set. So he folds his wings back behind him and stands tall, looking out towards the room.
You can do it.
The suspense.
Okay. Good morning. Sorry. One sec.
Okay. Shh.
Good morning, students. I am Professor Albus Hoover. Welcome to another year of school at Linwood Academy. We're excited to have you study with us. Today is an exciting day, for we will have our new students, our first years, choosing their houses. So please. And he gestures towards like the middle table where all of you are sitting. Come, line up, come to the stage, and declare what house you would like to enter into. The inspiration for this voice was basically just doing the hoo hoo noise for like every fucking word that he says, and it's very difficult.
It's very impressive.
So
Very
funny.
impressive, yeah.
Thank you.
It's definitely an owl voice if ever I've heard one.
All these kids quickly like get up from your table and start rushing to line up by the stage. The other tables are kind of like clapping and cheering for the new kids. Do you all get up quickly, or do you kind of like wait a bit? Are you trying to gauge what the fuck is going on? Like, describe your kind of what you're thinking as all this is happening.
Andy is like just really focused on making sure that she doesn't ruin Sable's life. She's like she's kind of in a do unto others mindset right now. Where she's like, if Sable's in her body, she's like, please, dude, like I just did this like really hard thing and I just please. So she's kind of projecting a little. So she's trying her best to act normal.
Gotcha. Magnolia, how are you feeling?
I'm looking around and trying to like look at like all of like the older people and just like the hall and like see like engage just like what everyone's like emotional state is and just like how this world kind of works.
Mm-hmm. So, a lot of people seem to be kind of like experiencing this like tradition right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the first day of school for all of them. Although, and a lot of them are kind of like talking and reconnecting with each other. But the first years have been here for like a couple weeks. They've had sort of like an orientation period.
Mm-hmm.
Like the older kids are like clapping and cheering. There's like good sections at each table that seem to just still be kind of focusing on their food or are like a little bored and they don't want to sit through kind of this long thing of like the new kids saying what school they want to be a part of. But it's pretty like kind of a diverse reaction, sort of like you would see at maybe like a high school football game, where some people are really into it, other people are just kind of there and hanging out and doing their own thing.
What percentage looks human?
I would say a little over 50%,
Okay.
but it's fairly like close to being divided down the middle.
Okay. But there's a good amount of humans.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Brandon, how are you feeling? What are you up to?
Brandon does not want to stick out. So when like the greatest amount of people start to flood up, that's when he's gonna go to.
Okay. And Justin?
Justin's fully bought in. He's at this point, he's been here his whole life. This is all he knows now. He's bounding towards the stage to go pick his house.
Okay, so I think you are pretty close to the front. So you see some kids going up there. All the kids up at this point are pretty like bold and confident, so they're not really afraid of being on stage. They're getting up there. They're saying who they are, where they're from, and they're choosing a house. They say like, I want to be in blank house. And when that happens, like typically a table that's filled with those people starts cheering, and then like the kid will go over towards that table and like join them. So then it gets up to be your turn. And you walk up on the stage and kind of turn around, and you see this large crowd of people standing in front of you, look with their full attention kind of devoted to you.
Hi, I'm just Kite. Just Kite. And I'm gonna be in Platypus house.
Yeah! And this table like to the far left starts cheering, and you like go over there.
Gonna leap off the stage. Platypus for life!
And next up, I think we'll say Andy.
Cool. Andy gets on stage and she's like, "Hi, Sable. I would like to be in Giraffe House."
Yeah, and then the table next to Platypus House like starts cheering. It's not as loud or kind of crazy as Platypus House's table is, but they definitely make themselves known as you start heading that way. And then we'll go with Magnolia.
As I approach and I'm just kind of like quiet, I guess, trying to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of whisper, "Alligator Gar."
And another round of loud kind of cheering erupts from the far right table as you head that way. And lastly, we have Brandon.
I'm Axius, and I choose Shoebill House.
And they start going wild, and you head there. And then a little bit later, kind of further down the line towards the end, is Kylie. Around when she goes up, there's a lot of like kind of quieter, like more nervous kids with like stage fright, and she definitely like falls into that category and is really nervous. But you hear her say her name is Kylie Shavers, and she quietly says giraffe, but like people can't really hear her. And so Albus kind of speaks up and it's like, "Say that again, child." And she's like, "Giraffe, and Giraffe starts cheering, and they all kind of, and she like runs over there. So, just to confirm, Magnolia, you said Gar.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, you said platypus. Brandon, which one did you say?
Boonbill.
The stork house.
Storkhouse.
Storehouse.
Storkhouse.
And Andy, you chose giraffe.
Get storked.
I
Get
had
storked.
pre-picked what all of these kids would have chosen,
Mm-hmm.
and you all got it right.
Hey!
Oh.
All of you can have an adversity token.
Yay.
Yeah, so you're all separated as you sit down with some other first years and maybe some second years in each of your houses and begin to meet with them and kind of have breakfast with them. And as things wind down and you kind of are dismissed and everyone is to go to their first classes, Kylie like makes it a point to try to find each of you and says, us first years are like in the same classes. Come on. And she begins to lead you down the halls. And this is where we're going to take our break. So we will take a quick 5-minute break or so. Stretch, get some water, use the bathroom, do what you need to do, and we will be right back. Thank you for sticking with us so far. Up next, we have some classes with some interesting professors, so please
so
look
excited.
forward to
Me
it.
too.
And yes. And we are back. Hello once again, everybody. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you, Jen, for waking up from your nap and coming and watching the stream. If you're like Jen and you missed the beginning of the episode and you don't know what's happening, you can type !Bob recap, which stands for Bikes on Brooms. And you can see what happened in the first episode and what's gone on so far in the second episode, because our wonderful players are keeping notes there. And
by players, we mean Graham.
Mostly
by
just
players,
Graham,
we
yeah.
mean
Hey!
Graham. Graham is great at notes. Hey, Graham, go ahead and give yourself another adversity
Some more
token.
damn-
Thanks. And Ash fixes all my spelling because I can't spell to save my life.
And that way I feel like I contribute.
Nice. Love it. You know what, Ash, for being our resident spell checker, give yourself an adversity token.
Hey, I'm F7.
All right, cool. So we left off with all of the kids kind of being dragged to their first class by Kylie, since even though you are now separated into your houses, you do still have all of the same classes as the other first years. She explains as you're going that they just want to make sure all the first years are getting kind of like a base education, and then in the following semesters, your classes will be more and more geared towards like your house classes. And if at any point you don't like your house classes and you want to switch, you can do so. But yeah, so we get off and she leads you down the halls. You see, as you're passing by kind of the residential hall that you saw before, the hallway and the rooms are like shifting. And some of the rooms are like separating off of the hallway, and you can see kind of through the window that they're moving on the grounds to other parts of the building. And you see some like suitcases and possessions like flying back and forth between rooms. It's very bizarre, but you're hurrying to your first class, and as you get there, you sit down, and all the other first years kind of file in. It's like this really big room. There's only about like 30 kids in the first year kind of year. So standard American classroom size, you know. We love that. But yeah, so you guys are sitting there, and Kylie like pulls out like a little notebook and kind of opens it and writes something at the top, and is looking towards the front.
Hey, Kylie,
Yeah.
what do you keep writing in that thing?
Oh, well, I mean, this is just for like notes. Like class notes. Because I don't
Class
want to...
hasn't started yet.
No, but I like wrote like just like the day and then like what class this is.
Oh, should I do that? Do I have a notebook? Did I bring anything?
Did you?
Just starts patting himself down.
Appears you perhaps did not.
No.
She's like, okay, our first class is transmutation.
I take out my notebook so I can take notes.
Yeah,
'Cause I did have that on me.
All right.
Andy does the same. It's the notebook that that she found in Sable's trunk.
Okay. Cool.
All I had was snakes.
Just tell them to remember it.
Oh, those are illusions. Haxius doesn't like people to go through her stuff.
Well, it worked.
She pulls out like another couple notebooks from her bag and hands them to you, Brandon and Justin. You see at the front of them, like, is written, one is illusion and one is earth studies. But she's like, you can like ignore what those are for. You can just use them for today.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine. And after a moment, you hear the room kind of go down to whispers as this tall, dark figure enters the room from the hallway. Stepping slowly, you can see like 6-pack abs underneath their little robe. A quite profound booty and bright, large red eyes as they introduce themselves.
Graham's typing up notes. And dump truck ass.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your first day of classes. I am Professor Mothman. I'm here to teach you transmutation.
I'm simping. Simp mode activated.
Oh no! Fucking Mothman.
It's Mothman.
Mothman.
Yeah, Andy won't be having a crush on this character because that'd be weird, but Nina sure does.
I mean, with a dump truck ass like that, you got it.
Yeah. Mothman.
Can moth my man any day.
Oh
Man
no!
is moth.
No, it's
Today-
wait,
Oh,
no.
man is moth.
Should have said he could transmute your ass any day.
Yeah, you.
Today we will be going over sort of an introduction to transmutation. What is it for? What does it do? What sort of things can you do with transmutation? And all of that stuff. We will not be getting into the practical applications of transmutation until week 2. But once we do, we'll be turning some toasters into cats and cats into toasters and, you know, simple stuff. If you're wanting to practice transmutation on yourself, then you will need to be in the correct house for a more advanced version of our course. But for now, I will teach you what you need to know. Do we have any questions starting off? He kind of looks around and one kid raises their hand. It's a human kid that looks quite perplexed. And he's like, yes, Steven. And Steven's like, are you like the Mothman? Mothman, please. Thank you. The Mothman was my father. But yes, I am closely related to him. He was taking care of some things on the Earth realm and was spotted by some non-magical humans. And yes, that is where the Mothman legends came from.
Andy just writes down in her notebook, the only note she's taken so far is Mothman equals real.
Confirmed.
Mothman confirmed.
Are there any other
Mothman
questions
confirmed.
before I begin on the history
got a
of
question.
transmutation? Yes, Miss Olivia.
I'm in the alligator gar house. How long until I can start practicing transmutation on myself?
We will begin with some small things of you changing like hair color and growing your nails and various other small things so that you can get used to it starting in your sophomore year. But until then, I will be putting more of a rigorous schedule on you for transmutation purposes, just so that you're getting as much practice as possible, since this is what you're interested in.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? Yes, Miss Haxius.
Oh, right, I'm a woman.
What was that? Do you prefer different pronouns?
No, those are fine. I want to know, what would you say is the greatest role of transmutation in maintaining the divide between Alga and Earth?
Well, it is not so much maintaining a divide, but it is protecting both spaces. Sometimes when creatures from Alga get into Earth, or creatures from Earth get into Alga, it is useful for us transformatists to go in to transform ourselves in order to locate them better, and to transform those creatures so that they can be brought back quickly, safely, and efficiently.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Mothman.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the correct pronunciation. Have an adversity token. There's nothing, don't worry about it. It's extra credit.
Okay.
Well, if that is it, I will go ahead and begin today's lesson. And he begins talking about kind of like some of the history of transmutation and like his practical purposes, kind of going into more detail about what he just talked about with Haxius, and transmutation's relationship to some of the other magic disciplines. Kind of goes on about that for about like an hour, maybe a little over an hour, before a magic chime goes off in the halls, and it is time to switch periods. And you follow the curve. I'm just gonna kind of like take you through all of the classes that you're gonna be going through. Your second period is with a human woman named Professor Victoria Holmstead, who teaches alga studies. It is the history of alga. And she goes a lot into kind of how alga relates to Earth and why they are so closely connected, and why these portals of these kind of like midway portals between the two worlds exist, such as the one in which this school has been constructed and built. She says that Earth is nestled in one reality where planets like Earth orbit around suns. The sun of like that Earth orbits around being called Sol, and there are seven other planets in what's called a solar system, and she kind of goes off naming those, and says that like while they are planets, they don't hold any other life. They're barren, and just kind of goes into talking about like the universe, like how life developed on Earth. And then she switches to talking about alga and says that in alga, there's only a single planet that was formed out of darkness by light. And it is inherently a magical, it had a magical birth, and due to its magical nature, it has spawned magical life over time. There are a large variety of creatures, some of which have escaped into Earth via these interdimensional portals over time and have spawned myths in Earth legend and vice versa of sometimes creatures have gone from Earth into Alga and have spawned legend as well. Yeah, she kind of goes through like a bunch of the different creatures and like the different kind of magical essences. She talks about these magical geysers that exist in Alga, and how those spew this magical energy that can be redirected and used for the magic that you will learn to harness at Lynn Witch Academy. Those magical geysers are kind of like what spawned these neutral zones between the worlds where in a time before people learned how to harness the power. Wow, yawning during my presentation, Arabella. How dare you?
Why don't you take some notes?
In a time before people learned how to harness and use the power, this magical energy kind of like overfilled the planet and started creating these pockets to different worlds. In which case, a lot of the pockets are connected to Earth, and there are some other pockets that are a bit more rare and not as common that connect to other planets that are uninhabitable. But because Earth has life on it, they need to be very careful to make sure that the two worlds do not kind of intermingle too much.
Oh.
Then, after Alga studies, you have Earth studies.
Oh, Professor Victoria.
What's up? Yes. Mr. Kite, how may I help you?
Are there other realities besides Earth and Elga?
Well, I am sure that there are. There have been things written in the history books of witches kind of traveling to some other existences and describing their journeys there. These have kind of fallen into legend, and they are not certifiably true. Some believe them to be true, others dismiss the legends outright. However, for our purposes, because Alga and Earth are so closely and uniquely connected, they are the ones in which we need to learn and maintain the relationships between.
Okay, follow-up question.
Yes.
Which place is Bareface from?
I'm sorry?
Bareface. You know, half bear, half
Face.
person, leather, eats people's faces, Bareface.
There are bear people. Well, I guess you could, much like you are a cat person, although that is a bit of a derogatory way to describe your race and your personage. There are what you describe as bear people. I don't know a bear face.
Yeah, it's just a Bareface. I'll figure it out later.
Okay, yes, Haxius.
I think what Kite's trying to say is there a portal near Bliss, Oregon that has a local legend about a bear face?
So specific.
Give me a charm roll.
What do I need to hit?
You need like a fucking 10.
I might use some adversity points.
Well, let's see what you roll.
Can I help with this
3.
question? I want to ask this question.
Wait, how many
So
adversity? One.
you can help by spending adversity tokens to help Graham succeed. So altogether, you need 7 adversity tokens to succeed.
Okay, I have 4.
I have 9.
I mean, you got it.
Yeah, you don't need
Do
anyone's
you
help.
want to spend 7 adversity tokens on this question?
What are you saving them up for, if not for
Yes. Full throttle ahead.
Full send, baby.
Okay, so you
Yes.
spend 7 adversity tokens. You have 2 left.
Yes.
All right.
Haxius's eyes have like these golden rings that start to fade out as they emanate from the pupil. Gives her charm.
Let's see. And she walks over to some books and kind of opens them up. She's looking through things and she's like, okay, Bliss, Massachusetts?
Oregon.
Bliss, Oregon. And she flips some more pages and she's like, okay, Bliss, Oregon. Let's see. I don't see anything about... Seems that a Bigfoot was near there at one point.
Andy writes down Bigfoot real confirmed.
Shiftlings have been spotted there from time to time. I don't see a bear face.
What's a shit
So
leg?
if you can confirm that a bear face is in that town, although we are kind of on the other side of what is considered the country of America, that would be a notable discovery.
Kite writes down. Bareface hunt begins. That's
Thank
it.
you, Professor.
Yes, may I continue my lesson? So the geysers were... and then she keeps talking about the geysers. And eventually that class ends. And then next we go to Earth Studies with Professor Argus, who is already there once you get into the class to sit down. He's a more adult unicorn, but more on the horse side than the human side than Sable is. And he has kind of like a long robe on, and he's smoking a cigarette while waiting for all of you to get in. And then eventually you all get in, and he kind of like kicks the door closed with a horse hoof. He's all like, all right, I am here to teach you about the Earth and its history and its current political climate and its relationship to Arda, and all of those things. We will have to quiz you on the various countries of the Earth, the various places in which portals do appear to be connected to Alga, and all of these other things. So, we are in a country called America. That is where our portal is located. We are in the eastern part of America. And they pull down a map. And the map shows like the entirety of the Earth, but then like magically zooms in to just show America. And he points with like one of those like ruler sticks at like the eastern coastline of America. And then he's like, and then there is another one like over here in like Utah, and there's another one semi in the south between what is called New Mexico. These are states. States are like small parts of a country. But it is in a state called New Mexico, and also in Mexico. It's not called Old Mexico. I don't know why. Don't ask. But also in Mexico. Mexico is the country south of America. And he kind of keeps going and talks about all the various portals. There's one in northern Canada. There's 3 kind of scattered about like Europe. 5 in various Asian countries. 17 in Australia, which explains things.
I
And
do.
even a few in Antarctica. Oh, and 5 in Africa. And then 7 in South and Central America.
Cool. Andy writes down in her notebook, "This guy sucks at Earth."
So after that, you have your combat/protection course, taught by Professor Snake.
Please,
Yeah.
Emma.
Yeah. Yeah, Professor Snake, eh?
Professor Snake.
He finally got the
okay.
Defense Against the Dark Arts class. I'm so proud of him.
They're a
Professor
snake.
Slytherous Snake. Is that what his name is? Is it
You know,
Slytherin?
I'm writing it down.
Emma.
Slytherous.
Professor Slytherous Snake.
Professor Slytherous Snake. And, he says that you guys aren't gonna get into like actual duels or anything practical for quite a while because it's very important to make sure that you're all being like safe. And so he talks about a lot of spells in theory, but isn't teaching you how to use them yet, but teaches you kind of like what counters what, the relationship between different elements of magic, and all of this stuff.
Like a magic triangle?
Yeah, kind of like a magic triangle.
Heck yeah.
Then you have Professor Sam Lee teaching illusion and divination. He talks about the history in both worlds of the practical uses of divination and where it's appeared in like their histories. He talks about like sometimes the necessary use of illusion to scare people away from running into portals on accident to the other worlds, and how like that spawned some legends in various places of people seeing monsters, and it's harder to do like nowadays because especially in Earth, just recording software and things like that, but in the pre-internet and video recording era, that was a popular thing to do, of just creating an illusion of a big monster to keep people away from places. Then lastly, you have Professor Herman teaching bestiology. Professor Herman is a very...
Could I ask Sam Lee a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Professor Lee.
Oh, just call me Sam.
Sam, I've read that there's this place called Loch Ness in Scotland.
Yeah.
On Earth.
Uh-huh. I'm familiar.
Is that one of the illusions used to keep people out?
No.
Is it real?
A dinosaur used to live in there, yeah, but it's dead now.
Okay, thank you.
Andy writes down Loch Ness monster
that's it.
equals dead set. She is kind of writing these also kind of notes to Sable in the notebook in case they ever switch back. So she's writing little things like, this class sucks, and she's drawing like goofy pictures of the professors. And just like she draws Professor Argus the Horseman being like, I'm the suckier version of Sable, I don't look as cool, and stuff like that.
That's cute.
That's so funny.
I like that. And then your last class of the day is Professor Herman with bestiology. He's a very like thin, kind of sickly looking man, but as he gets talking about like some of the different animals, especially on like the alga side, he visibly like lights up and gets really excited because he's just like so fascinated by these like creatures on the other side and like the various species and peoples that you can find there. And then he'll talk about like the animals and insects and everything on Earth's side, but which he like is very knowledgeable about, but he doesn't seem as interested in because he's human, and you suspect that it's just because he's like from there. Whereas like a piece of him still sees like everything in alga as like this kind of like mystical and like very exciting thing. And he talks about like a bunch of different creatures and goes over like quite a few things. Do you have any specific questions for Professor Herman?
Andy does make a note that's like, I can see why you like this stuff, because like she's getting really into like bestiology because of the professor's like attitude towards it.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, that is cool, huh? But she raises her hand this time, and she's like, hey, jackalopes, how do they happen? Are they like their own thing, or did something go on there that made them a thing? You know, because they're like a pretty obvious combination of two animals that don't combine.
Yeah, so actually, jackalopes happen because rabbits accidentally, kind of a small family of rabbits found their way into the like New Mexico, like Mexico portal, and near that portal is a magical like geyser. I don't know if you've heard about the geysers at all, but
We heard about the geysers.
But the raw magical energy from that geyser kind of transformed those rabbits, and eventually they found their way back into Earth. And I mean, they died out pretty quickly. They're not really around anymore. If they are, like, there's very, very few of them. But yeah, so it was just kind of a thing of like they found their way into the wrong world on accident. People weren't really monitoring properly at the time. We didn't have many things in place to kind of like keep things protected down there between both countries, because there's a lot of kind of conflict in that border. And it's hard to kind of have regular patrols between the two. You've kind of got to have like two separate groups kind of investigating each side. It's a whole mess. We've got a like much better solution for it now, but back then we were still kind of trying to figure things out while like not getting in trouble. And these little guys kind of snuck on in. Here's a picture of one, and he kind of like pulls down a map and then like kind of does some magic in the air, and suddenly like you see this kind of old-timey picture of a jackalope, and it's adorable. It's like a rabbit with like deer antlers, basically.
Jackalope. It's jackalope.
Is it a jackalope?
It's a jackalope.
That's super cool. That's really all that Andy had to ask.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. So with that, your classes for the day are over. And you find that all of your belongings and your stuff has been moved to like your house dorm, your house dormitories. So now that the first years are kind of like separated into their curriculum, you're like, the goal is that you're supposed to hang out with like the people in your own dorms. You're supposed to get like mentorship there and kind of like get to know the other freshmen or the other first years, and kind of like help spur each other's interest and like help each other study and practice and all of that stuff. As it's like the first night for you all to be there, the houses have various activities planned, like get to know you games for you to get to know like a lot of the other students. They're not necessarily mandatory. You don't have to go to them, but what do you guys want to do? Do you want to do some get to know you games with other kids from your house, or what are you thinking?
I would like to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Andy would like to as well. But I do remember that we said we'd meet with Kylie for dinner, so I do also want to make sure that I don't forget to do that.
Okay, if you're gonna do well, you and Kylie are both.
Oh, we're in the same
Giraffe
house.
So you see that she's gonna skip the get to know you games.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna go after, like, make sure that she's like doing good and stuff as well, and ask her how like her day went and stuff.
Yeah. Brandon and Justin, what do you guys want to do?
I think Justin's all in. He's gonna get to know people.
Okay, dope, awesome, love it.
Do I know about the dinner plans? Does Brandon know?
She said it around all of you, but whether you remember is up to you.
I think he'll remember, but he doesn't know when or where anything's happening, so he's gonna stay and do the games unless someone comes and finds him.
Okay. I don't think anybody does.
Okay.
So, let's do Magnolia. I'm gonna change the music. Magnolia, so you are in the Gar house, which is all about fucking transmutation and shit. And so you have a few like second and third year students that are hanging out. It seems like the grades here only go up to fourth year. The fourth years are all kind of like busy doing their own thing, but a lot of like second and third year students are hanging out with the first years and kind of talking to you all and talking to you about like some of the classes and some of the spells that they're getting to practice, and they're even like showing off a little bit. But while you're there, there are like a number of humans that are in this group. I think this house in particular has quite a few humans compared to some of the other ones. Because who wouldn't want to turn themselves into like a bat or like fucking something else, because that'd be really cool. But there's also like a deer kid. There's like a couple wolf kids. There's an alligator kid that just thought that he belonged here, like this is where he was supposed to be. And there's one person that looks kind of like a mix between an elephant and a narwhal. And yeah, you're all just kind of like hanging out. Narwhal kid is named Groth. The wolves are Al, Jal, Cal, and Jeffrey.
I can't keep up.
Al, Cal, Cal, and Jeffrey.
Yeah. And then there's the deer kid, which is Halathus. And then there's a bunch of humans. There's Diane. There's Emily. There's Kaya. There's Broden. Brian. Zach. There's a lot of kids, but are there any types of kids that you're looking for, or any people that you're wanting to like gravitate to?
Are there any kids that look like they're older and nerdy and like they'd be really good at their studies?
I think give me a brains check. We'll say you want to hit a 6.
Or
You can spend adversity tokens if you want. You just need to spend 2.
wait, let me see real quick. I have like a luck advantage on like as one of my skills or whatever. I want to see what that one does. I feel
Okay.
like it's like a
Lucky?
reroll or something.
Lucky you spend 2 of your tokens to reroll.
Oh, or I could just spend 2 and then
Or 2
hit
would just get you the
6.
pass, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'll just keep it at the 4.
Okay. So there are a lot of people around, and a lot of people trying to get your attention to like come hang out with them and stuff. So you don't really see anybody, unfortunately. But you're gonna be keeping an eye out for the rest of the night in case an opportunity presents itself, and maybe in the coming days.
Okay.
And we will hop on over to Justin. Justin, you are in, also known as Kite, you're in the platypus house. People in this house are very like combative, and in lieu of getting to know you games, they're having like a fucking wrestling tournament.
Oh, hell yeah.
So why don't you give me a fight check to see how well you do? This doesn't necessarily have like a straight difficulty. I just want to see how well you do in this.
It's not going to be great. My fight is a D4.
Oh my god.
A
Okay.
2.
So you don't do great with just the straight up fighting stuff, but it's a really fun time, and you kind of sit with some of the other like people who were knocked out early and hang out with them. There's this one kid that reminds you of your friend Justin back home, because his name is also Justin.
Oh my god.
Yes! Another Justin!
And
I'm making friends with that guy.
yeah, he's like a very smart kid. Seems to be like very aware of what's going on, but also seems like very excited, and he seems to know like a lot of the kids too, so he's kind of like commentating some of the matches and is like making like little bets, not like real bets, but kind of like be like, oh, like Thomas is totally gonna beat Gargax the Destroyer this time, just watch, and like all of this stuff. And it's just like a fun night. Is there anything in particular you're wanting to do while you're here?
I mean, I'm gonna join in with Justin 3.0 apparently.
Yeah, so you're just kind of hanging out with him through the night, and you guys are like kind of talking to yourselves about like all the matches and what you notice about some of the older kids and who seems like the top dog and all that stuff. Brandon, also known as Haxius. You are in Storkhouse. So, Storkhouse, for fun, is doing like tarot readings and stuff for all of the new kids. Don't ask me what your reading is, because I don't know enough about tarot. And I don't want to be like offensive or anything.
Okay.
But we'll say it's a pretty like positive reading. Like, but yeah, so you're kind of going through the night. You get your tarot done, and then there are like snacks and stuff and like little hangout zones. Is there anything in particular you're looking for or like wanting to do while you're here?
Is there anyone that looks like me here?
Like a Gorgon?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a 4th year student. He's much taller. His hair kind of like stands up, or his snake hair kind of like stands up on top of his head. They look kind of like, they have like a rattlesnake pattern. They have like this light brown skin with these kind of dark brown spots as well, and like yellow eyes, and they're kind of off in a corner, like poured over a book with a human girl, and they seem to be talking about something, but you do see them.
I'll mosey over there.
No, so you see these tea leaves suggest or show like this symbol, not this symbol. I can see how you think it's this symbol because like blah 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 blah, but really there's kind of an intricate detail here that I think is pointing more towards this. And the girl's like, no, like stop being a fucking idiot. Like it's very obviously like this. Stop trying to point it towards a direction where you want it to be. And simply like read it for what it is. And they're kind of like debating amongst each other while they're looking in this like little teacup at some like tea remnants that have formed themselves into a certain pattern. And you walk over and they don't really notice you. So do you announce yourself in some way?
I'll say, so how do you make an objective reading?
The girl looks to you. And then the Gorgon guy kind of like takes a quick look, but then kind of takes a second look and sees that you're a Gorgon. And he kind of like puts his hand on your back and like pulls you closer to the table. He's like, okay, so objective readings. It's about not wanting to read. You want to look at something for what it is, not for what you want it to be, which I'm doing. And he kind of like looks over towards the girl. But you also need to look at the details and really make sure that what it is kind of lining up to what you see. So take this for instance. And he kind of like shows you the teacup and then slides the book over to you. So he's like, we're stuck in between it. These tea leaves looking like this symbol or this symbol, and he kind of like flips between 2 pages to show you the different symbols. Make a brains roll.
Okay.
You want to get a 14 to get this right.
Oh, fudge. We'll see. Nope.
No. So the
I
two
first,
symbols
yeah.
look very much the same to you.
Excuse me.
And so you're kind of looking at it like a bit confused. He's like, you'll notice like the difference is kind of like a couple strains in this one, here and here and here. And the pattern of the leaves, I feel, has a couple of these strains, but not necessarily all of them. She thinks largely that this holds the shape more of the other one, so blah, blah, blah. And they just kind of keep talking and arguing with each other. Is there anything in particular you want to ask him or ask either of them?
I was hoping I would get some camaraderie with my fellow Gorgon, but
You're getting a little.
Yeah, I know. I'm not
hanging with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say after a while, hopefully this isn't on the first year's test. after staring at the text.
No,
for a while.
no, this is like 3rd and 4th year stuff. Don't worry. First years, it's just all about like tarot readings and kind of easier stuff.
Oh. You've got any advice for first years? And she'll look to both people.
Well, and the girl kind of speaks up. Just take notes, on what means what and how things kind of influence each other. First year is all about tarot, which everything is very clear and concise as to what each card means. It's when they kind of get put together that their meanings can be interpreted a few different ways. But just take lots of notes. It's not too bad. You'll get it.
Okay. Thanks. I'll leave you to it. I would have said it was this one. And she'll point to one of the symbols.
And the girl's like, "That's what I said!" And he's like,
Right?
No. Then the scene transitions over to Andy, also known as Sable, where you and Kylie actually leave the school. And outside of the school, the sky is kind of like this orange and purple hue, as if it were sunset, but it's been like this much of the day. And outside of the school itself are these like kind of like, it's a very, very small town, literally like maybe like 6 buildings. It's not residential, it's more kind of occupational. And you go to this one place that's kind of like a bar and like snack shop and restaurant sort of thing. So entering in there, you and Kylie sit down, and Kylie gets a drink, and she looks towards you, and she's not like an alcoholic drink, but just like a
no,
soda.
We're 12.
And she's like, do you think the others are gonna come?
Honestly, I think they're kind of out of their depth and like trying to, get used to everything. But like, don't take it personally. They're not the like people who like, so it's not like they made a decision or anything.
No, yeah, that makes sense. How I mean, this all must be pretty weird for you.
Yeah, it's really weird. I guess this like wouldn't come up because like I told you my name's Andy, and that like doesn't mean anything, but I'm actually like a girl on Earth. So there's also the fact that Sable's a boy. So that's been something to kind of like, it's weird because it's not as different as I thought it'd be. Like, it's not uncomfortable or anything, but like, it's just weird, It's different.
Yeah. I've always like wondered what that would be like, but it's not that different.
Yeah, I wondered about it like a lot, especially like before I hit high school and had other things to worry about. But like, yeah, it's kind of neat, honestly. I mean, it's not super different, but no one treats me really differently, and bathrooms here are the same, so it's really just, it's cool, actually.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if you ever figure out like how you all ended up in the bodies of other people, like, let me know, I guess. That'd be an interesting experience.
Right? I feel like it would be more fun if you like could talk to the person that you're switching bodies with and like make sure that everyone was like good to go and ready for it. But
yeah, consent's important.
Yeah, but this is a freak accident, I think. Enough about that though. I'm trying not to think about it too much. How was your day?
I mean, it was good. I've like like I've never been good at like practically using magic, but we didn't have to do any of that today, and I thought things were like interesting. I learned a little bit. I knew a lot of this stuff because like my family are like witches, so I kind of heard about some of it growing up. Especially once like I knew I was gonna start coming here, but yeah, I mean it's like first day stuff. It's nothing too crazy.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I don't even know what like doing magic would feel like. That's like something I can't even imagine, you know?
I mean, try it.
What?
Try
Okay,
doing
okay.
something.
But like,
Don't like blow up the table or something.
oh, I
but,
don't want
like
to. No, yeah, no. Okay, I'll try. I don't know like what it's. Is it like flexing a muscle or like?
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good at flexing
Just like
muscles.
think really hard about what you want to do
Okay.
and try to make it happen.
All right. I used to do this when I was a kid. Like I am a kid, but like when I was like really little, I used to be like, I'm gonna like make that book move. So okay, I'm gonna try and she like swallows all of her like drink and she's like, I'm gonna try and pick up the glass with magic. I don't know if
Okay.
that's too hard, but we're gonna do our best.
Okay. I think this is gonna be like a grit roll. we'll
Okay.
say.
Okay. What do I need?
You need a 10, but we're gonna do Misfits and Magic rules, where you also get a D6 magic die.
Okay, so I roll grit and a d6.
Yeah.
Cool. So I will roll grit and then I'll roll the d6.
So 5. 7. So you can spend adversity tokens if you want.
It would be 3 adversity tokens, right?
Yes.
Well, I have 3 adversity tokens, so we're gonna fucking do it.
Send it, man.
Send it, dude.
Live that glass. Just rocketing through the roof.
Yeah, I'll spend my adversity tokens to make that hit.
Okay. So you make that hit, and yeah, describe what happens as this works.
I'm gonna say it doesn't work super well since I barely made the check, but like all Andy really wanted to do was just like make the glass kind of hover off the table.
Yeah.
So it kind of like shakily like lifts off and stays there for a couple seconds before it like drops down.
You did it.
Oh my god. Holy crap. That's like that was easier than I thought it was going to be, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sable can do magic, so it makes sense that like you and his body could maybe do magic.
That's a good point. I wish that I could do magic in real life. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I think it'd be really cool. Real life. I guess this is technically real life, right?
Yeah. I mean,
It doesn't feel real.
it's real life to me.
That's fair. Yeah. Sorry. That might have been really insensitive. I don't know.
Oh, no. I mean, if I was in your situation, I'd be really like weirded out and unsure of what was going on too.
Yeah. Do you like so this is like random and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but do you like have like does your family like live on Earth? Like where in Earth are you from?
Yeah, they live in Massachusetts,
Oh.
which is like near where, I mean, this is in Massachusetts. It's
Okay.
like Portal.
Cool. That's like on the opposite side. I live in Oregon.
That's far away.
It is far away. So it doesn't make sense, you know, because if the portal was close, it would be like it'd make more sense, but it's not. So it doesn't.
Yeah. Is it cool and like how's Oregon?
It sucks, man. It's a super small town, and like all of my friends decided school's really cliquey, and all of my friends decided to be part of like different popular cliques, and I'm stuck like just kind of doing my own thing. And we had this weird tradition with the lighthouse, and it's all really weird, you know, but it's fine, I guess. It's not as cool as this.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I didn't get along like super well with like kids back when I went to like Earth School, but this is I mean, I didn't get along great with, I mean, Sable's nice, but he kind of like is off in his own world a lot of times, but I don't get along great with the others. So even this is like a weird experience, but it's like, I mean, it's nice having friends.
Yeah, totally. I don't have anyone I can go get like cool drinks in a cool town with, like in Oregon, so this is already like infinitely cooler.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, and she keeps sipping her drink, and you two keep talking for a little bit, and eventually you all retire to bed.
Brandon has a moral quandary of whether he should shower or not.
It's a good moral quandary.
Andy doesn't ever shower unless her parents tell her to, so she didn't even think about that. She was passed out.
Dustin's gonna try licking himself.
Delicious.
See what the hype is about.
Tasty.
Except hairball.
That can be however you imagine it to be. I'm not gonna speak your truth into that. Okay, so back. All right, so you all fall asleep eventually, in your new rooms with your new roommates. I mean, Sable and Kylie are kind of in the same room still, but the rest of you are around. I mean, everybody's kind of a stranger to you, but you just kind of met these people largely probably tonight. Magnolia, as you sleep, you have a nightmare. In it, you feel like you're, like, you know those dreams where you know you're not yourself? You're like somebody else, but like, it's like first person, but you know you're not you. It's like that. And you're hiding from something in a dark closet. Outside of the closet, you hear something that sounds like leather stretching.
Bareface.
And the sounds of footsteps are creaking from outside. As the footsteps stop and no sound is heard, you look out of the closet, and seeing that the room outside is empty, you begin to leave and walk out into this room. As you do so and you start walking towards the door, you feel the presence of something behind you. The sounds of leather stretching fill your ears as your vision begins to fade and you wake up to your alarm sounding. You find yourself once more back in your room, in your body, with your normal alarm going off, and it is exactly as you remember it.
I figure all of that was a really fucked up, realistic dream. And I start my skincare routine.
Yeah. So you do your skincare routine and everything. All of
My
that
face
takes
is beautiful
around
again.
like
Thank goodness.
45 minutes. Eventually, you walk out into the rest of your apartment, and you see your mom kind of like sprawled out on the kitchen counter, much like she was from the day before. Strangely, almost exactly like she was the day before. The lunch ingredients are kind of like set up on the table. There's stuff kind of hanging in a lunch bag. But it seems like she didn't kind of finish making you your lunch. But she is fast asleep, still in her scrubs because she had to work what seems like another overnight shift, and she just got home. What do you do?
I start putting the stuff away and then I grab out my phone.
Okay. You successfully look at your phone.
What's the date?
It's
Is
the
it Friday
same-
or?
it's Friday.
Huh. I go to Instagram again.
What was the post that we said you saw last time on Instagram?
Some
it's-
shirtless dude posing and he was all like, "Rip new kid."
Yeah, that's what it was. You see exactly that.
I'm a bit weirded out, but I like it. Like I did last time. But now I'm like, isn't it that one kid? And then like, didn't this already happen? Like, did I not like this post? Like, was
Mhm.
yesterday Thursday? Yesterday must have been Thursday. I thought it was Friday. It must have been Thursday.
Groundhog Day.
Okay. So I'm probably just disoriented from like my dream because it was weird. Yesterday must have been Thursday. Today's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably okay. I'm gonna get ready and get ready for school.
All right. You get ready for school and eventually leave to go and hop on the bus. For the rest of you, you wake up from the strange dream and find that your days are beginning exactly like you remember the day before beginning. Justin, you go out of your room and your parents are talking passionately. Your dad saying he has this great idea to attract new customers to the restaurant, gas station sushi. And your mom is saying that's a terrible idea. He's Korean. He should do like bibimbap or like something else. Or I think I said bulgogi.
You did, yeah.
And you come out and your dad turns to you and he's like, no. Justin, this is a great idea, right? Gas station sushi.
You know what? Yeah, you should totally do it, Dad.
See, yeah, I told you, it's a great idea. And him and your mom just kind of keep talking, and then your mom kind of like grabs everything and puts it in your bag and kind of like lightly guides you to the door, and you head out to get on the bus. Andy, you wake up and your mom had to go to the hospital because she wasn't feeling well, and your dad's giving you a ride. In much the same way, your dad like forgets to pick Brandon up, and so you have to correct him. And Brandon, much in the same way, both of your parents aren't there, strangely. But there's like some lunch money, or you can grab some things from the fridge for your lunch. But eventually, the time comes that you hear Andy and her parent kind of outside, ready to pick you up. And all of this feels incredibly familiar. Magnolia, as you get on the bus, you see that the only... Or was it the other way around? I think it was the other way around. Justin, as you get on the bus, you see that the only seat open is next to Magnolia once again.
Go plop right down, pull out a tech deck, and go at it. Hey, Mags.
Don't call me that, Justin. And I put some headphones in and watching YouTube videos on beauty stuff.
Okay. And then Andy and Brandon, you two are in the back seat of your dad's car. He doesn't want to listen to your music, so he puts on his own music, and you two kind of share like a headset or earbuds and start listening to your own stuff. But do you two say anything to each other?
Oh yeah. Andy kind of goes, Brandon, is this weird?
Snakes?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Goat, horn, sable. Yeah. Okay. Fuck. That's like she does not usually swear. She just goes, fuck.
Hey, watch your language. And with that, the camera kind of like pans out and pulls away from the car as it kind of rises over the town, looking much the same as it did last time we saw it, the morning of Friday, the 18th, the 17th. And you find that you are in the same day that you left on. And that's where we'll pick up next time.
Damn.
Dang, dude. Groundhog Day
I mean, you
now.
gotta stop dropping these bombshells.
And now,
Honestly.
with the first 2 episodes out of the way, the setup is complete. And we
Wow.
can dive into
Ching-ching.
some of the actual stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
We'll go around real quick. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us and listening. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jendai, for the 100 bits. I appreciate that. Let us go around. Everybody introduce yourselves again. Say who you are, where people can find you, what you do, whatever you want to say. Let's start off with our amazing artist, Nina Wolverina.
Hi, I'm Nina Wolverina. You can find me on on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch as Nina Wolverina. I post art and stuff, and I will be posting the full-size tokens for these characters tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that.
Heck yeah. Next, we'll hop on over to Graham.
Oh, I'm Graham. You can find me at Throcketman on Twitter and Instagram.
And that's a King Jong-un reference.
Of course. It is a
Always.
Elton John reference.
Oh
My
no.
last name. But I'm not very active on Instagram and I'm not very active on Twitter.
Yeah.
So if you don't follow me, it's
Next up, we'll hop on over to Arabella.
I'm Arabella. You can find me on sincerely.arabella on Instagram, which I'm also not very active on, but
You'll get some cute, cool mountain pictures sometimes.
yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, we have the boy Ash.
Hi, I'm Ash. You can find me at Zephyr Chaotix on Twitter, where I post stupid things.
Yay, stupid things. And then I'm Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me here on twitch.tv/Emma Panada or on Twitter at Emma Panada. I also am going to be in various other games this week. On Wednesday, I'm going to be on Stella Luna's channel for a one-shot using the Monster Hearts 2 system, where I'm going to be playing a sexy siren and being all flirtatious and shit. And then Friday, I'm going to be on that_D'Angelo's system or channel, and I'm going to be doing a series called Homies Helping Homies, where it'll be me plus some other streamers who have really cool projects going on that we'll be taking donations all night, and when you donate, you can wildly affect like the story in crazy ways. Like if we're planning in a fantasy game, you can donate money and be like, I want it to be sci-fi now, and we'll make it work and it'll be sci-fi. And then all the money that gets raised through that will split up amongst each other to kind of go and support our projects. So that'll be really cool. And then I'll be back here Tuesday for Curse of Strahd, and I think we can't play next Sunday, but I think we're good the following Sunday. So keep an eye out. We will be back, and I'm looking forward to playing this again.
Yay.
But thank you all so much. We will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a blissful week.
Bye.
Bye.